native Chicago resident and recently elected board of director of APPNA and also chair of the host committee, Dr. Sajid Mahmood. Please welcome with a big hand, Dr. Sajid Mahmood, who has lost some weight. You can see when he's arrived here that people who've known him for 2 weeks ago versus today, that's good weight loss program to make a chair of APPNA host committee. Come on, sir.
Thank you, Rizwan. Honorable Ambassador of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Mr. Masood Khan, Consul General, Chicago, Mr. Tariq Kareem, President APPNA, Dr. Asif Muhyiddin, Congresswoman Julia Ramirez, and we are anticipating Jamal Bowman also. Thank you, sir, for being here to travel all the way from New York. We really appreciate it. Assalamu alaikum. And not to mention all APPNA members who have traveled all over from United States and Canada. Thank you very much and Assalamu alaikum. Myself and my hard-working members of host committee had put together lots of efforts and countless number of hours to organize an event to have you an exciting time and also raise the bar and reputation of APPNA, which is representing approximately 18 to 20,000 physicians of Pakistani origin. Throughout the recent years and since its inception, APPNA has done a lot of work in philanthropic activities, human rights, to curb human rights violations, and to help fellow members to excel in their profession. It is an honor and a privilege to address all of you at this convention. This gathering of healthcare professionals and leaders in our field is a testament to our commitment to excellence and innovation in patient care. As we come together to share knowledge, experiences, and insights, let us remember the importance of collaboration and camaraderie in advancing healthcare. The challenges we face in our practice require collective efforts and a shared vision for a healthier and more prosperous future. I would like to have this opportunity to praise and say thank to my hard-working host committee, especially my co-chairs, Dr. Amin Nadi, Dr. Rahat Sheikh, Dr. Samina Hijab, our advisor, Dr. Suhail Khan, my CME chair, Dr. Wasim Kabzi, and of course, Dr. Tariq Bhatt, who has always been a light of vision and source of guidance all these years. May I request gentlemen to please come on the stage so that we can recognize your services. Thank you very much.
मेरा नाम बोलिए।
नहीं लिया आइए डॉक्टर।
Thank you, and with this, I would hand over the podium back to our Secretary, Dr. Rizwan Naeem. Please enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, the host committee and Sergeant, for a wonderful work they have done. Putting an event like this, it's not easy. You work through so many people, so many places, and so many days and nights, and you cannot count. With that said, our next speaker is our beloved president of APPNA 2024. I have to tell you a few things. He's a good friend, so please don't take any offense. He is a man of very few words. You talk to him for 10 minutes and his answer will be yes, no, okay. So that's his answer usually. But when he is determined to do something, he makes sure that work has been done. And please, before he comes to stage, he's a practicing gastroenterologist in Orlando, but don't get confused with the amount of hair he has in his head, right? So don't look at his hair. It's all not right. He's a grandfather of two beautiful girls. Tell me how many of you know about it. Grandfather of two little girls with that kind of hair. It's amazing. That means he takes care of himself. My friend and president of APPNA 24 with big hands, please give him a big hands for a wonderful event and leadership.
Thank you so much for making me a model for Rogaine. Welcome everybody to a spring meeting. Honorary Ambassador Mr. Masood Khan, Honorary Consul General of Chicago, Congressman Bowman, Congresswoman Ms. Ramirez. Welcome to APPNA Spring Meeting 2024. I want to welcome you all to the largest diaspora of Pakistanis in the world. Off the bat, I want to recognize my wife for all her support and sacrifice. Countless hours of meetings that she lets go. So, I want to thank the entire host committee, especially Sajid Mahmood, Sabah Mahmood, Nadeem Amin, Wasim, thank you for an amazing CME. You stole the show with a great CME. This CME didn't have a vibe of a spring meeting, it had the vibe of a summer meeting. A great mushaira last night. Javed Akbar, thank you so much. It was all standing room only. Social forum, thank you Jameel Bhai and Sohail Khan for moderating. APPNA is a 501c non-political association. We don't talk politics, but we stand for humanitarian values and of course condemn the killing of innocent civilians on both sides of the Gaza conflict. The 1,200 plus on one side and 33,000 plus on the other side. Many men, women and children have died. So many that we don't even know have been in the under the rubble, didn't get a proper burial or a proper prayer. We also want to condemn the killing of doctors and being in medical profession, condemn the attacks on the hospitals. We also condemn any human rights violations anywhere in the world, including Pakistan, and trampling of the human rights in Pakistan. I want to thank Arshad Rehan and Rizwan Naeem for talking to the Pakistan Medical Dental Council we have worked out an unrestricted licensure in Pakistan for physicians who are certified and licensed in the United States. With this, we will fulfill your needs. The paperwork is very easy, all electronic, and they have arranged this last year, and Rizwan's trip this year to Pakistan. My vision for APPNA is to create a forward-thinking association that breaks the shackles of negativity, not based on regionalism, but on merit. We want to shift the focus of this association to more of quality education, research, and CME, and create an environment that flourishes incubation, research, and innovation. We want to establish APPNA College of Medicine, an idea of Rizwan Khalid, past president. Create a centralized educational institution. We want to be able to give our members a fellowship of the American College of Medicine. We want to pass the baton to our next generation. We want to create leadership opportunities for our young physicians from Pakistan and our NAMA graduates. We want to give them the network and the connections through YPC Chair Siddiq Khurram and help them in the residencies. Today I met some students who came all the way from Pakistan, and this is a great sign of APPNA that we can attract students coming from Pakistan, and we want to promote this. We want to give them opportunities of research to APPNA Incubator through Dr. Ahmed Hassan, our research chair. We want to create the research incubator for APPNA. We want to have an APPNA Innovation and Incubation Seminar in the summer convention, connecting software developers, innovators, and locally and from Pakistan with open and create an ecosystem of research and innovation. On the charity side, we want to collaborate with USAID and HDF and other organizations and work on addressing malnutrition, maternal mortality in Pakistan. We want to help mitigate the adverse effects of climate changes in Pakistan. And we want to provide clean water provisions through Khatra Fund, a brainchild of Dr. Benjamin Islam. The concept is that we contribute small amounts of money to the Khatra Fund, maybe $30, $50 of sadaqah every month, and this builds up to a big investment that we can use to do charitable projects in Pakistan. I want to recognize Saba Mahmood for her great contribution to a very successful YPN this year. Thank you, Saba. Jabeen Bukhari, Zishan, Maria Sheikh for their contribution in Alliance, and for great sessions in cultivating leadership and youth and promoting mental health. Malia Hassan, thank you for the mental health walk. I want to recognize and salute our council members and the chapter presidents from all over Canada and other places. I want to specifically mention DMV chapter president Rima Ali and my friend Khalid Ali, who stood by me and for their resolute support. Khalid Ali also reminds me often that my value will go down on 8th of July. कोई भी मुझे नहीं पूछेगा, and मैं फौरन अपने घोड़े से नीचे उतर आता हूँ. Thank you, Khalid, for keeping a check on me. I want to recognize APPNA's past presidents. Dear sirs, without your leadership and dedication, we wouldn't have been here as an association. You have done wonderful work for APPNA, and thank you so much for your dedication. APPNA, through your work, has grown in all aspects, financially and also emotionally. We have grown as an organization. APPNA brand is doing well, and I'm proud to be representing APPNA. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Asif. So we learned something new, and for the other future becoming president, short and crisp, that's what makes the things move forward and be recognized well. Thank you, Asif. So with that said, we have as you know, when we organize an event like that, it is always possible we discount cost for our membership, and for that we are thankful to our sponsors. So please play a 2-minute video for ZTE.
As a leading private equity firm, ZT Corporate is an operationally oriented firm of entrepreneurs dedicated to developing growing income-producing lower middle market companies. Our focus is on creating value for our business partners by investing in inefficient markets that offer the potential for growth. Through creativity, hard work, and disciplined risk-taking, we pursue opportunities to generate exceptional returns for our stakeholders. Founded in 1997, ZT Corporate is a Houston-based firm with offices in New York and Los Angeles. Our team focuses on healthcare and auto dealerships as our core investment verticals. We have experienced success within these two sectors because they are stable and resilient with long-term prospects for strong growth through market volatility. Several years in the making, in 2023, we announced the acquisition of Exceptional Emergency Centers, which positioned Altus Community Healthcare as the largest privately owned acute care provider in Texas. We operate 27 freestanding emergency rooms and micro-hospitals in Texas. We plan to expand our footprint further in the only major market left to secure in Texas. On the automotive side, ZT Automotive is one of the nation's top minority-owned auto groups. The outlook for 2024 suggests that purchase multiples are coming back down to earth, which provides opportunities to buyers like us who are confident in their operational expertise. When times are good, poor operators can still make money based on new car sales even if they are operationally efficient. However, operational skill is what separates great dealerships from the rest. We look forward to seizing opportunities in fragmented industries to continue our growth in 2024 and beyond with you as our valued partners.
Thank you so much. So without any delay, the next person I want to invite, you know all of you, majority of you know her very well. And APPNA is a very progressive and forward-looking organization and has elected many women leaderships in APPNA positions as an APPNA president also. So our president-elect for this year, Dr. Humaira Qamar, I know her for many, many years, worked with her. She is a champion of women causes. She's a champion of progressive causes. She's a visionary leader. And more importantly, what I want to say, with apology to Humaira, that her clothing are just gorgeous. Means look at her clothes whenever she goes to any APPNA function. That is one of my passion to see what Humaira is wearing. And I'm sure you might say that too. But more importantly, with last few months of working with her as a board member in APPNA, what I realized, in addition to her intellectual abilities, she is fantastic. She has a sense of humor not many can see. Humaira, without delay, please come and say a few words for the next year of APPNA leadership. Humaira Qamar, Dr. Humaira Qamar, she's a pediatrician in Florida.
Thank you, Rizwan, for this kind introduction, and I had given him some more adjectives, but he forgot. So I'll just go with whatever he remembered. So without further ado, it is my honor and pleasure today to introduce to you our next speaker for this evening. First of all, it's, everybody's enjoying the evening today. The food is fantastic, the decor, the beautiful people of APPNA. It's always a pleasure to see the APPNA family dressed up so nicely. So thank you all for being here, and it's my unique honor and pleasure to introduce to you the next speaker for tonight. As Dr. Asif Muhyiddin just mentioned, the raging war in Gaza, the raging genocide in Gaza is heartbreaking for all of us. As human beings, as physicians, we are all deeply affected by this tragedy. And in whatever capacity we can, we try to help out. But I'll be honest with you, the only thing I've done is, other than introducing in social media my thoughts and donating money to recognized charities, I haven't really done anything else. Majority of us are sympathetic to the cause, are, you know, हमारे दिल में दर्द है, लेकिन उसके beyond हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So I have the unique pleasure to introduce Dr. Fawzia Alvi, President and founder of Humanity Auxilium. She's an American and Canadian board-certified family physician who's an ardent human rights advocate. She lives in Alberta, Canada. She's a passionate humanitarian and leader. In 2017, Dr. Alvi went on a medical mission to Bangladesh, where she was distraught and devastated to see so many displaced Rohingya refugees. Upon her return from that trip, she decided that she could not wait to take action and decided to start this auxiliary Humanity Auxilium. It's a non-profit organization whose mission is to make this world a better place. Since its inception, this organization has several projects in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, and also in war-torn areas in Yemen, and also running medical clinics and health clinics in Pakistan. Their organization has also worked in Turkey and Syria, and they're also active on the ground in the Yemen, fighting for the famine. So more recently, their organization has made 5 medical trips to Gaza, which is an active zone of war right now, I should say. Well, I shouldn't say war, because war implies conflict between equal powers, and we all know that it's not a conflict between 2 equal powers, it's a struggle between oppressed and oppressor. So she's gone there herself. She's also the recipient of multiple awards, including the Paul Harris Fellow Award. She continues to advocate for the oppression of Uyghurs in China. Currently, she works in Calgary as a full-time family physician, in addition to working for her organization. So I'll introduce you to her without further ado and allow her to come and introduce herself and her work to you guys. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening everyone. So thank you Humera for introducing me. So I have come all the way from Canada, and I want your 5 minutes of the attention, because that's the time slot I have been given. So if you can just hear me for 5 minutes. I'm up since 3 o'clock, I have connecting flights, I have missed my flights from Denver due to storms, so I'm just gonna start that now. So as Humera said, that let me just, so that's my organization that I started a few years ago, and then now it's globally International Medical Relief Organization. So that's me, and as she said that I'm a full practicing family physician in Calgary. So Humera also already told me about our work in different parts of the world. So I'm going to come back to the point for Gaza. That's why I'm here for. So as you know that what's happening in Gaza, you guys know it very well, but what I have seen it on the ground, it was very different. It was many more. I think I'm not ever been. What I witnessed in Gaza is not something that I can ever adequately put into words, not something I will ever forget. So I have seen that many people, they were the only surviving members of the entire family. Many are orphaned, they are grieving for their loved ones losing their homes, being displaced, and are being affected by ongoing food and resource shortage. Many have to cope with these realities all while dealing with their own injuries and health issues. Time and time again, as you know, that patients, including children, have had to be operated without anesthesia. The hospitals that we worked in, so we worked in Khan Yunis and Rafah, hospitals are serving as refugee camps. There were people everywhere. So the hallways are full of people I have lost count of actually how many injured people I have seen, especially in European Gaza hospital in Khan Yunis, with shrapnel injuries requiring amputations. There was this 8-year-old girl who was playing outside with her brothers when a neighboring structure got bombed and she died of her injuries. I saw a 3-year-old boy with shrapnel injuries in the face, extremities, eye, complex facial fractures. Almost every person that I met in Gaza, doctors, nurses, elderly, pregnant women, children, everybody was hungry. I saw a 4-year-old child, so I was there in February. I saw a 4-year-old child who has not eaten for 4 days. I have seen so many children. So this is the young girl, her name is Razan. So this video was made in Shifa Hospital back in when the Shifa Hospital was bombed, and her house was bombed and she lost one of her legs. And this video got viral, and because she's crying that she wants her legs back. I met Razan actually in Rafah. 5 months later, she was living in a small makeshift tent behind the clinic where I was working. Razan has lost her siblings, her parents. She is living with her aunt right now. There are many Razans in Rafah that I met. I want to, as a woman, as a physician, as a mother, I do not have the video for a woman I met. Her name was Riham. Riham was in her early 30s. I met her in European Gaza hospital. Riham was, so she lost one of her eye, one of her arm, and 2 of her legs below her hips. And on the top, she lost all of her children. So when I met Riham, I did not have any words. But Riham is a human being. She's a mother. And it was very, very difficult for me to see as a woman. And I wonder that what sort of prayers she makes when she's alone. And I also wonder that if she complains to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about us, about the world that has turned back on her. And I have seen many Rihams in Gaza. So let's see if there's a ceasefire happen today. Inshallah, we pray that it will happen. This war is going to set up the survivors, adults and children, to endure a lifetime of harmful developmental, psychological and medical consequences. Despite the horrors, the people of Palestine continue to rely on Allah, but extremely grateful, resilient and looking forward to a better future. I was talking when I was on the ground in February, I was talking to a psychologist about the affairs of the people of Gaza, and he mentioned that people of Gaza are very strong, but they are human beings. There is only that much that a person can see dying children every single day. When I was talking to the doctors and nurses in the hospital, they said to me that do not worry about us, we are strong, but take care of our children. They do not deserve any of this. They want to be happy, they want to live, they want to have friends, eat and play and go to sleep at night time without bombs falling beside them. So I'm going to talk briefly about that what we have done on the ground. So we have sent our 5th mission on the ground. Actually, 2 of the doctors arrived today, and so when I went there, we opened our first medical clinic in the central area. Since then, we have opened 3 medical clinics, 2 wound care clinics, and 1 trauma stabilization center. And the reason that we opened trauma stabilization center, after a thorough discussion with the Ministry of Health, with the local doctors, as we know that the massive attack on Rafah is imminent. There's bombings every day. When I was there was like last 2 nights, I was thinking that this is the last night. And my home team doctor in Canada, I gave him my sister's number and my husband's number. When the bombing was so intense, every 5 minutes bombs were falling where we were staying in the hospital, and the walls of the room were shaking. And I thought that it's my last night. Then I realized that I did not tell my home team doctor that whom he needs to call first, either my sister or my husband. So this is like, we have seen death very closely when we were on the ground. So just back to our work on the ground.
They download everything from Egypt at the Gaza.
I don't want to play the video actually, so because my time is limited. So one of the dire need on the ground, as we said, was the wound care center. 50% of the post-op wounds get infected, leading to higher mortality and morbidity. So we have established 2 centers in Rafah area. And we have opened 1 trauma stabilization center. And I'm just going to share the cost of it. Why I'm sharing the cost of it, I'm proud Pakistani doctors. I want APPNA to go there on the ground to represent their work. I know that there's a lot of power in APPNA, and I really want APPNA doctors to go with us and volunteer with us, and then maybe just sponsor trauma care centers, trauma stabilization points, because there's no hospitals are full of capacity in Rafah and Khan Yunis. So literally when our teams are there, people are we are treating people on the ground in the emergency rooms. There are people everywhere in the hospitals. So, and the other things that we are doing it, primary care clinics, that was very important. We have purchased a van actually, because we want to have the mobile teams. So we have hired 1 local doctors and 1 nurse and 1 sport person. They are going actually from town, from 10 to 10 to assess patients on the ground. And but our idea is to purchase more, because there's no fuel in Gaza. So people they do not have any means to get to the hospital. First of all, they do not have any means. If they get to the hospital, there's no capacity for them. There's no beds. So our aim is to stabilize those patients in our wound care clinic. And we are also supporting Najjar Hospital. Najjar Hospital is in Khan Yunis area. And there is no ICU in the hospital. There's a lot of trauma patients are coming from the north and central area. So our plan is to open a ICU in the Najjar Hospital. Besides opening these clinics, we have to understand that the doctors who are working on the ground, they did not get any pay for the last 7 months. Most of them, they have lost everything. Every doctor, nurse, person I met in the hospital, they have lost someone. And they are working non-stop in the hospital. So, let me just show you the next clinic here. The other thing we want to do it, we started our food program in Ramadan. So we are providing 5,000 meals every single day. And we want to continue it. Our program is running now in central area, but we want to expand it to northern and central Rafah. So all of that, besides all of that said, most of people who are here Muslims, I want to share a couple of my spiritual points that what I have learned in Gaza. First of all, why I went to Gaza? Because you know that Palestine has a special place in our heart. It is the first Qibla, the site where our beloved Nabi led all the messengers in the prayer. There is no doubt that Allah has chosen Palestine to be blessed and sacred. I have witnessed the iman of the people in Gaza is unshaken. They know that this is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are seeking help in the Quran and in dua. They know and they understand that this test Allah has given them, and they are rising to the challenge. Personally, on my personal level, I do not think so that I'm ever going to witness a more clear example of the concept of sabr than in the faces of the people of Gaza. I have heard of verses of Surah Al-Imran in the streets of Gaza, and I have seen their manifestation in their hands when they were raising their hands, in their sujood, when they were praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have seen that every person in Gaza, they have individual connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then they know that the love of their Nabi for them. They know that the Nabi loves them, and then how they make salawat, how they complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that tell our Nabi about us. Allah's mercy descended on the people of Gaza. personally, myself and my team, we did not feel hungry when we were on the ground. We were eating maybe a protein bar every day. And I have seen that because there is a shortage of everything, antibiotics, pain medications, I have seen people seeking healing from the verses of Quran. They were reciting Surah Fatiha actually, and we were seeing that the sabr in them. The people are having their hands, limbs amputated, and they are reading Quran, subhanallah. The people of Gaza are united in their resolve and their resistance to oppression. The situation is so extreme now, and there are not any places to live left in the Gaza anymore. The population, the people are undeterred in their resolve. I'm just going to finishing up. Dr. Rizwan is already standing with me, reminding the time. So I just want, I'm here to request all of you that please make a dua for them. Do not forget them, and also keep advocating for them, and be a part of our team. People who want to go, just sign up with our medical missions, and I really want APPNA to have their name in there in Gaza. Thank you very much.
So I wanted to say thank you so much, Fazia. As many of you might not know, she's a proud member of APPNA. She stands for Do No Harm. She stands for humanitarian causes. She stands for justice for all. Violence against any civilian, we don't like that. And thank you for doing such a wonderful work. I want to say, please observe 30 seconds of silence in the losses we have seen and Fazia has seen in Gaza. And we'll start in 30 seconds.
I just want to make one request, actually, that I will be outside the ballroom. People who want to know more information, please come and meet them. I will wait for you.
Thank you, Fazia, and we are proud of many APPNA members who has done phenomenal work in humanitarian and other causes. With that said, we are not only alone, we are not alone, we don't feel alone. We have many friends throughout this United States of America and Canada and all part of the world who are doing similar work. People who stand for justice, stand for truth, who have seen this violence, who have seen this injustice in their own life. And one of such friend, of our friend and your friend, is Congresswoman Ilhan Umar. So please play her video for 1 minute, I guess. Ilhan, please.
Assalamu alaikum and hello to everyone that is attending the APPNA convention in Chicago this weekend. Thank you so much for the invitation to join you all. I am very sorry that I'm not able to be with you all because of scheduling conflict, but I do hope that your convention is successful. APPNA is an organization of Pakistani descent physicians who have dedicated their lives to doing medical education, community service here and abroad, and have civically engaged our communities. I am forever grateful in the ways in which you all show up to make sure our communities are taken care of, that our voices are uplifted, that there is advocacy that is taking place, and encouragement of young people to get the education that they need to become successful professionals and great human beings overall. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for your dedication to our community and to His Ummah. I look forward to hopefully joining you one day in person. Jazakallah khair for the invitation, and see you all soon.
So you heard her, right? She wanted to be here but could not come. But there are many who made an effort and are here to help with our causes and our issues. And we are proud to say one of such friends is Congresswoman Delia Ramirez from Chicago area, and thank you for our host committee, and thank you for Dalia to be here. So before I say something, I wanted to mention a brief background. Ms. Dalia Ramirez used to be a state representative of Illinois, and during her time, she expanded Medicaid and Medicare coverage for Illinois residents. And now she's in Congress, so I'm sure she's working on the same issues as we are, that we have seen our reimbursement going down, coverage coming short and shorter. And friends like Dalia, we are proud of your work for Medicare, healthcare issues. And without saying much, I also want to say she's an avid player of tambourine. I don't know how many of you know she is, you know how to even know. I didn't even know that there's an instrument called tambourine. Thank you, Dalia. Please.
Good.
Good evening. Salam alaikum. The tambourine, some would say, is not really an instrument, but I couldn't learn the flute, the clarinet, the drums, so I tried the tambourine. I am so grateful to be with you today. For those of you that are not from Chicago, welcome to Chicago, the greatest city in the United States of America. I know my colleague over here would say New York City, but you're in Chicago, so Chicago. I also want to thank Dr. Tariq Butt for the invitation to join the Association of Physicians of Pakistani Descent of North America's spring meeting here in Chicago. And I want you to know that I made some calls with the weather people to make sure that you would have great weather while you're here. You're welcome. I want to also acknowledge and extend my gratitude to President Dr. Asif Mowarin and all of the APPNA board members present here for the opportunity to share brief remarks with you this evening. For those of you who don't know me more directly, I spent almost 5 years in the state legislature working on healthcare, on education, on housing. But before all of that, and always, I'm the daughter of 2 Guatemalan immigrants who, like many of your own families, came to this country for a better life. You see, Maria Ramirez and Luis Ramirez came to this country with very little and a 3rd grade education. My mother crossed the border that so many people talk about, pregnant with me. And if you would have ever told Maria with a 3rd grade education from Guatemala that her daughter would be a United States member of Congress, she'd probably say to you, unimaginable. But I am her daughter. And I am her daughter before I'm a congresswoman, I'm her daughter before I'm an organizer, and I'm her daughter before any of the work that I do. And yes, in 2022, I became the very first Latina from the Midwest in Congress with a lot of honor, but a lot of responsibility to do the work of justice for all of us, not just some of us. I get to represent Chicago and the northwestern suburbs, and I go all the way to Elgin, and I go all the way to West Chicago. And I'm really honored to be with you tonight, to continue to build bridges around our shared values and the goals of making sure that everyone, everywhere has access to life-saving care that they need to live full and healthy lives. I want to especially thank and extend my gratitude to you for the critical humanitarian work that you are doing across the world, but especially in my homeland of Guatemala. Dr. Butt and others have shared with me about the critical and life-saving work you are doing to deliver essential preventative care to women and children at the Escuela Esperanza in Coban, Guatemala. And friends, whether it is children in Guatemala, children in Pakistan, or children in Gaza, I am clear that we share a deep commitment to uplifting our shared humanity and investing in the well-being of others, especially the most vulnerable. Back in October, a number of us said that the only way you find peace, you prevent a regional war, and you save lives is with a permanent ceasefire. I am honored that I get to do this work with Congresswoman Omar, with Congresswoman Tlaib, with Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, with Congresswoman Summer Lee, with Congresswoman Cori Bush, and today here with you with Congressman Jamal Bowman from New York City. Because I believe that we are living a moment where we require moral courage. You heard about little girls like Razan. How many more Razans right now are crying out for their legs, crying out for their parents, crying out for their children, for their siblings. And we know that the only way that we save lives in this moment is with a permanent, long-lasting ceasefire. And I am proud of being part of a squad that works endlessly every day with moral courage to say, ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
That's right.
Ceasefire now.
And look, it is difficult to be in a Congress where you debate legislation, and for every single grant that we give, for you physicians who get your reimbursements from Medicare, you know all of the paperwork that you must turn in to get your reimbursement, correct? For every nonprofit that gets a grant from the federal government, you must submit a lot of paperwork before you can get a grant. And then for every dollar and penny that we give you, we make you fill out another 50 hours of paperwork. It is mind-boggling to me that for every single dollar that we give from tax dollars from people in this country, we require accountability and record keeping, but not when it comes to aid to one country. Not that. It is why I voted no on aid to Israel, because Netanyahu will not get any more money for bombs. Because I believe that we can choose peace over bombs, lives over death, justice over injustice, and it's going to require all of us in this precise moment, with the power that you have in your special place, to be able to say, not one more dollar, friends. We will fight like hell for Razan, but we will fight with love for Razan, so that not one more child, not one more woman, not one more life is lost during this conflict. And I will be your ally today, tomorrow, and every single moment until our shared humanity of peace and justice for all is a reality. Thank you for having me.
What a moment. And what a moment. You remember, this is one of our smaller meetings, if you know. This is a spring meeting, right? So if you think about the collective power you have, each one of you sitting in each table, how much resources you have, and what God has given you, and what United States have provided resources for you. If someone like Gala can be a congresswoman, so think about it, what we can do. But one thing I know, I've been here for over 30 years in the United States. What I've seen, our friendship circle is keep growing. We, congresswomen and senator, used to shy away from our events. And now, not only one, two, so many of them want to be our friend, because we stand for the same causes. We stand for justice, we stand for truth, we stand for non-violence against physicians or any civilians, and that's what APPNA stands for. With that said, our next speaker will inspire you like he has inspired me. I work in Bronx, New York. He lives in Bronx, New York. or works in Bronx, New York. He's my congressman from Rye, Westchester. They tried everything they can, or in the books of politics, to change his district almost every time he contested, to bring more non-minorities into that district. And he may look like a safety. I'm sure you people who know about football remember what safety's job is. Wherever the gap is, he fills that gap. There is a group of us called Muslims for Jamal, who are working throughout the country to make him elect another year, another tenure for Congressman Jamal Bowman, my friend, proud to say my friend, proud of Muslims, and a vocal advocate of all the right causes. Mr. Jamal Bowman, please.
Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? Assalamu alaikum. Peace and love to you all. Thank you so much to APPNA for allowing me to say a few words. Thank you for inviting me. Can we please give another round of applause to Delia Ramirez? You know, sometimes it's rough working in Congress because I can't believe that the vast majority of members of Congress are in support of war crimes and are totally okay with children being bombed to death and children starving to death. But the fact that I get a chance to work with Delia and other members of the squad gives me hope, gives me inspiration, gives me courage, and gives me strength. So Delia, thank you so much. Love you. Mwah. And Chicago is the second best city in the United States of America. New York City, as we all know, is the Mecca of the United States of America. It is such an honor to be here, but this is a very difficult time. Not only is there a genocide occurring in Gaza as we speak, but many of you may not know that guns are now the #1 killer of children in America. And the children of our country are also going through a mental health crisis. So as we continue to demand a permanent ceasefire in Gaza, we also must continue to fight to end the scourge of gun violence in America. And as I am talking to a room full of doctors, as we think about the economy, as we think about equity, as we talk about freedom, justice, and equality, to Delia's point, we have to invest in our healthcare system much more than we invest in wars all around the world. We have to focus on books and education, not bombs and incarceration. And Dr. King said, there are triple evils in the United States of America that we have to conquer. The evils of racism, the evils of capitalism, and the evils of militarism. And the United States, for far too long, all over the world, we settle conflict with missiles and bombs and war. And because we have done that, and because of the disease of racism and capitalism, and I would also say sexism, because women continue to be discriminated against in our country as well. Because of those things, we have created an environment where our democracy is on the line. We are seeing a rise in fascism in our own country. And we are supporting fascists all around the world. So we need you as it was mentioned earlier, look at the power in this room. First of all, you all look good. You look amazing with your suits and your dresses. I turned to my wife, I was sitting in the lobby watching everybody walk by with their dresses. I said, you have a really nice dress tonight, don't you? I just wanted to make sure she could keep up. But the expertise, the scholarship, the economic and political power in this room, you have to continue to use it in Congress and in government. You have to force members of Congress to listen to you and respond to your needs and your demands. We cannot continue to lose our soul as a nation. We cannot allow babies to starve to death. We cannot. We cannot allow our money to go to Israel or any other country without strings attached, where they are using our money to detain women and children who are innocent of any crime. We cannot allow this to continue. We cannot continue to allow the persecution of Muslims, not just in Gaza, but all over the world. And we got to continue to push back against fascism in all its forms. Now, I'm an educator. That is my background. I worked in education for 20 years before I got to Congress. I was an elementary school teacher, a high school dean of students, and a middle school principal for 10.5 years. So education and children are my life's work. And I am now the first person of color, first black man in history to hold this congressional seat. We should clap for that. So now that we have our voices in Congress, we have to take advantage of this moment. And I will continue to push for education equity and universal health care, because we should not have tens of thousands of people dying every year because they don't have access to health care. But we're going to need your help. And I want to piggyback on what the president said as I close my remarks. He mentioned an education pipeline. I need you to continue to use your expertise to educate the next generation of doctors in our nation. We need you. We need you to be working in the medical field. We also need you to run for Congress when you're ready to run for Congress. Can you do that? We need you. The other thing we need is education equity and education justice. The reason why fascism and racism and militarism and sexism continues to persist is because of miseducation. And because we have kept education away from poor people and people of color for far too long. And that absolutely has to change. So I'm going to continue to work in collaboration with all of you. Thank you so much for having me here. I want to tell you something very exciting that we're going to do again next year. And I want you to come to Washington to help us do this. So on March 23rd, I introduced a resolution to make March 23rd Pakistan Day, to boost U.S. and Pakistan ties and acknowledge the deep contributions of Pakistanis in America. So March 23rd next year, are you going to be there? Yeah. In Washington, March 23rd next year, I'm going to need you to show up. I also want to mention, with all due respect, I refuse to attend President Modi's address to Congress when he came here due to Islamophobia and actions towards Pakistan. I refuse. So I will continue to stand strong with you. Now, I know tonight we're not going to talk about politics that much. But tomorrow, there are two big events in support of me. If you are available, see Dr. Khan and Dr. Ahmed. Where are you at, Dr. Khan and Dr. Ahmed? Where are y'all? There's probably a bunch of Dr. Khans and Dr. Ahmed. Not to be racist and that, but you know.
Yeah, right here.
This guy here. Talk to him. We're having two events tomorrow. We'd love to meet you all in person and talk to you, not just tonight, but tomorrow. Thank you so much. God bless you. Let's continue to fight for justice, freedom, and equality. Thank you so much.
So, if you want to hear Mr. Jamal Bowman tomorrow at 11, we have another seminar with him. He's going to talk about peace and justice. Conflict, peace and conflict in multipolar society. A very entertaining, very knowledgeable seminar. So please attend at 11. Which room is this?
Riverside, next to Bazaar.
Next to Bazaar, Riverside room. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that said, as we were talking about resources, right? How much collective resources we have. And within few minutes of these speeches and these messages, I have a good news to share with you. I want to invite our president, man of few words, Dr. Asif Muhyiddin, and Dr. Fawzia, APPNA member, Dr. Fawzia, to come on the stage and make that announcement.
Thank you so much. Really want to salute Dr. Fawzia Alvi's cause and the humanitarian work she has done. It's amazing and heartwarming to see a person of her stature do this. I have Dr. Javed Imam here. He has spearheaded a collection of donations already. We have $51,000 pledges in few minutes. Thank you, Dr. Javed Imam. We have Dr. Abdul Rahman Yaqub with 25,000, Javed Imam 5,000, Samir Shafi 5,000, Dr. Mumtaz, my relative, 5,000, Mr. Lakhani 5,000, Dr. Hussain, Rubia Hussain 2,000, Shahid Hassan 1,000. Dr. Sajid Mahmood has just announced 1,000 pledges. I encourage you all, collectively sitting in this room, I know you all, you're worth billions of dollars. Please open your hearts and your wallets and donate for this humanitarian cause. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Jazakumullah khair. I'm so proud of APPNA family. And let me tell you one thing. It's my first event. Actually, I'm ashamed to say that I'm attending APPNA. Whenever I used to hear it, I thought that APPNA is all about parties and music. So sorry, but that's the impression I got. But I'm so proud of you. My heart is warmed by the support, by the respect all of you guys have shown me. And honestly speaking, every penny that you are donating, it will go to the cause. We are volunteer organization. We have 0 employee. All of us donate our time for this. Every penny that we take as a trust, and then we take the mission of fulfilling this trust very seriously. And I'm proud of APPNA family, myself, my team, and our volunteers, and the lives that we save. They know us and they are grateful for it. Thank you so much. And I have flyers here with a QR code. And if we can put on the tables, if you want to take it with you. Thank you so much.
On behalf of myself, my wife Sabah Mahmood, and my host committee, thank you very much, Dr. Fawzia Alvi, for your hard work and come and inspire us. And inshallah, we will continue and pass the word among our community and our local chapter to donate even more. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a heartwarming event. And so the name of the organization Dr. Fawzia works with is called Humanity Auxilium. You can go to their website and do as much of more donation as you want. But we are very proud of the people of the members who are involved with us. With that said, I want to invite our final speaker for the event, none other than our own ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to introduce and welcome our distinguished guest today, Ambassador Masood Khan. I have seen him work his passion for Pakistan and improving Pakistan. And there is one thing common between you and us. We work for Pakistan. We don't care who is doing what, but our passion is for the people of Pakistan. And I know your passion is also for the people of Pakistan and how we introduce it. Ambassador Khan is a distinguished diplomat, statesman, and a thought leader. Ambassador Khan has a long career. He was Pakistan ambassador to China, Permanent Republic of Pakistan at the United Nations, and New York and Geneva. He comes with a great and long history of statesmanship and work for Pakistan. Give a good big hand for Mr. Khan, Masood Khan, our ambassador. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Asif Mohyuddin, President of APPNA. Dr. Humaira Kamal, President-elect for the next year. Dr. Shadihan, ex-President. Dr. Sajid Mehboob, who is the chair of the host committee this year. Dr. Rizwan Naeem, who has been moderating the proceedings of this session, and Dr. Rima Chaudhary, who's come from DMV, where I come from, and our Consul General, Mr. Tariq Kareem. It's a great pleasure to be in your midst today, and I'm expressing your sentiments as well, that two very distinguished lawmakers of the United States from the House of Representatives joined us today and made passionate speeches about Palestine and about the rights of the people all around the world. So we're thankful to them, and I hope with the passage of time, your voices would be heard more clearly. Let me start my remarks by congratulating APPNA. This spring meeting in Chicago particularly, I think that this is very successful. The number of people who are here in this room, I was told that the number is about 570. This is a big number. But I've also learned here today that food streets are not just confined to Lahore or Islamabad. These are food streets outside. And there was so much food that I didn't know what to choose. All of you know probably that APPNA is the biggest diaspora community organization, not just in North America, but all around the world. So I pay tribute to its founders, its present and past and future leadership, and you've been flying the flag of Pakistan high here in the United States and Canada and all around the world. We are proud of your achievements. Let me tell you that our diaspora community as a whole has increased here in the United States. The number right now should be 1 million. I don't know whether you know this or not. I'm going to share a figure with you. 18,000 Pakistanis became American citizens this year. And I'm sure that majority of them are doctors, physicians. Let me also inform you about Pakistan-United States Health Dialogue. In the past 2 years, we have 2 rounds of these dialogues in Washington and in Islamabad. and we have taken some momentous decisions. First, I want to tell you that we have requested the CDC of the United States to help us establish a CDC in Pakistan for disease surveillance. And we are working on that project. And I would invite you to be participants in that project. In its dialogues, we have also decided to invest our time and energy and resources in non-communicable diseases, prevention of child and maternal mortality, and that we would try to fight non-communicable diseases which are spreading in Pakistan as well. So that's where we need the help of the doctors. You're already very active. I know many doctors and many organizations here who are investing back in Pakistan. And you're investing in telemedicine, pharmaceuticals, diagnostics, healthcare in general. You have medical transcription billing firms there which provide livelihoods to the people of Pakistan and give them expertise. So, and we can also experiment with the idea of health tourism. On the model of Turkey, for instance, this can flourish in Pakistan. Another area in which you can invest, and some of you are investing already, is IT. I don't know whether you know it or not, that in Pakistan we have 192 mobile telephone users. We have about 135 broadband subscribers. Pakistan is getting digitized very quickly. And Pakistan, I was talking to a gentleman who specializes in this area at the Consul General's home today. He told me that according to an independent survey, Pakistan is the most cost-effective country as far as IT is concerned. And digital literacy is also growing exponentially in Pakistan. So I would say a few things that I want to share, that do invest in Pakistan, do have confidence in Pakistan, and your contribution when you succeed here in Pakistan, for instance, physicians and other entrepreneurs, we feel proud. If you're strong, Pakistan is strong. And we always celebrate your successes. The only thing that I want to say is that your confidence in Pakistan would be directly proportionate to the strength of Pakistan, because you have such clout here in the United States and in Pakistan. I would also appeal to you to always be a bridge between Pakistan and the United States. This is what I've been telling the United States lawmakers and administration officials, that if everything else, God forbid, fails between Pakistan and the United States, this bond, the bond of the diaspora community, is never going to fail, because it is very resilient and we are proud of it, and this is an asset for Pakistan and for the United States. तालियां बहुत बेदिली से और बहुत हल्की फुल्की. And very strong, moving statements were made about Palestine. And I think that Dr. Fozia did a wonderful job. I think that everybody was moved to tears when she was giving her presentation. And I want to salute her on behalf of the Embassy of Pakistan, on behalf of all the physicians present here today, all Pakistani Americans. She's done a wonderful, wonderful job. And I hope and pray that God would reward her services. Finally, the solution for Palestine is there. It is writ large on the wall, and it is, there should be immediate ceasefire, that humanitarian assistance should be resumed instantaneously. It should not be one corridor, it should not be one pier, there should be multiple corridors. And there should be a two-state solution for Palestine. Palestinians' right to self-determination and statehood should also be recognized. I appeal to the American leadership. America can do it. America has the power to bring about this transformation in Palestine. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much. Keep succeeding. Keep making Pakistan proud. Thank you.
Dr. Asif Muhyiddin, if you're here, please come on the stage. We have some awards and we need to invite other board members also. So please, Shahzad Iqbal, Sanaullah, Arshad Rehan, Umaira Qamar, please come on the stage. Dr. Sajid. So all this effort really takes a lot of effort.
Sorry.
So all this effort takes a lot of effort from a host committee chair. And I want to invite Dr. Sajid Mahmood to receive his award for the wonderful work. This is one of the best spring meetings I've seen. And all effort to Dr. Sajid Mahmood and the whole Chicago team. As you may know, day before APPNA, PPS was the first organization of Pakistani physicians in North America. And PPS people generated or helped form APPNA, which we see today. So PPS is one of the oldest organizations of Pakistani physicians. And thank you PPS, thank you Chicago. We always have a good time in Chicago. The rest of the awards will be announced later.
Thank you, Rizwan. So I'll start with some projects that local chapter of APPNA, as known as Pakistan Medicine Physician Society, has done in the recent years. And the crown jewel of our chapter is APPNA PPS clinic that has been serving the indigent population of Chicago suburban community for a number of years. And the mastermind behind that project, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and praising Dr. Imtiaz Arain. I see Dr. Imtiaz. Next project which PPS is proud to have is PPS House to serve the residents who come to and travel to the United States to seek medical residency. And that house has been serving these residents indeed, and now over a period of years, approximately 3,000 or more residents has completed their training and now practicing medicine in different areas of United States. So I would like to invite Dr. Suhail Khan to please come on the stage, who has mastermind, created the idea and set up this house in 2014, and since then it's been serving the population. And the next project is COVID. During COVID time, PPS has created APPNA telemedicine with collaboration with APPNA Relief, and the person behind that project is Dr. Amin Levin. Please come to the stage and receive your appreciation card. With this, I'm gonna invite my hard-working co-chairs and host committee. First of all, co-chair Dr. Rahat Sheikh, please come on stage, and that we can all appreciate your hard work in executing this meeting. Dr. Rahat Sheikh, followed by our other co-chair, Dr. Samina Hijab, please.
फोटो भेज दो यार एक सेकंड
No activity or meeting of APPNA is complete without a robust CME, and for that we are indebted to services of Dr. Wasim Kabzi. Please come on stage, Dr. Wasim Kabzi. Let me invite PPS local chapter president of this year, Dr. Tariq Bhatt, who has been a source of guidance, and his visionary leadership has inspired a lot in recent years to serve this community and this chapter of APPNA. Dr. Tariq Bhatt. I guess Dr. Tariq Bhatt has stepped out. So. Next, I'm going to invite Chair Young Professional Network, Sabah Mahmood, to come to the stage and collect your appreciation plaque. They have done an enormous job in conducting Young Physician Network meeting and another career development workshop. Sabah Mahmood. Full house Mushahara on Friday night, thanks to hard work and literary sense of Dr. Javed Akbar. Please come to the stage, Dr. Javed Akbar, who himself is a renowned shair and has conducted a full house, a well-attended Mushahara last night. Thank you, Javed. I would like to invite Mr. Medical Alumnus President Zisham for conducting a well-attended career workshop. Mohammad Zisham, please come to the stage. Last but not the least, our immediate past president of local chapter, Dr. Noor Mirza, who also served as chair hospitality committee for this meeting. Dr. Mirza, please come to the stage.
So with that said, I know we are seeing a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, but we are always optimistic also, right? So we say, इस शिकवे शबे ज़ुल्मत से तो बेहतर है कि शिकवे शबे ज़ुल्मत से तो बेहतर है कि अपने हिस्से की एक शम्मा जलाते जाए। सो आप जो कर सकते हैं कर दें अपने लिए, अपनी फैमिली के लिए, अपनी कम्युनिटी के लिए, अपनी फिजिशियंस के लिए। Thank you so much for a wonderful evening, and that ends today's session, and we will wait for 15 minutes and then start the musical program.